Welcome to the Transformation Podcast with leading empowerment and transformation authority, Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, incredibly amazing one joining me from across the globe. You're welcome onto the second episode for this year of the Transformation Podcast. The Transformation Podcast aims to bring you contents, inspirational and transformational contents on personal development, leadership, health and well-being, entrepreneurship, and also health and well-being. I think I said that before. For you to actually unlock your full potential and live a fulfilling, purposeful, and successful life. We also deliver groundbreaking content on relationships. And if you own a business, we'll be bringing you also content on business development and transformation. I am Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi, the host of the Transformation Podcast. And like I said, in the first episode of this year, we'll be hosting a weekly podcast where I'll be talking on a specific theme. And at the end of the month, we will invite a guest speaker to round up the theme. So you may go into further depth, you might get more insights and also perspective from experts in the field. So we will be going on with Unlocking Your Potential Part 2. If you watched the first episode or Part 1 of the podcast titled Unlocking Your Potential, you would have known that we gave the definition of potential. I'll give a brief summary of last month's, the first episode, and we'll move on from there. I said potential is unused energy, unused ability, untapped talent, gifts, all that which you've got or you are capable of doing and becoming that you've not yet done or become. That's potential. It could also be looked as energy that's untapped. It could also be looked as your purpose that you've not yet fulfilled. So everything you've done up to this extent is no longer your potential because you've already done them. You've already achieved them. We are yet to unlock those potential, those abilities, those talents that are still lying dormant within you, waiting to be unlocked, waiting to be untapped, or waiting to be tapped into so that you may actually add value and impact your world and endless lives. So looking at the definition, and of course, we talked about a seed. It was just the easiest and the best way to make you really understand what potential is all about. If I have a seed, an orange seed, in that seed is trapped several oranges. In other words, an orange seed has the potential trapped within it to become several oranges. However, for that potential to be fulfilled or to be released or revealed or to be made manifest, there is a process. We need to go through the sowing of that seed in a fertile environment. We need to nurture and nourish that seed daily until when it is fully grounded, solidified, it's taking roots and expanded, and it can be nurtured automatically from within. Then it now grows into the orange tree, producing several oranges at the end. And we talked of seasons. There's a season for sowing and there's a season for harvest. We cannot expect an orange seed to become an orange fruit overnight. There is a process. We cannot expect you to fulfill your maximum potential overnight. There is a process, there are steps. However, you must nurture, nourish that potential for it to actually be able to reveal or to be made manifest, for it to be unlocked so that you can actually get what is trapped within. The fruits that are trapped, the gifts that are trapped within you could be made manifest to the world so that you can serve others with those gifts. We talked about once you found your potential in my last session as well. I'm just giving a brief summary. I placed a lot of emphasis on the fact that we should understand there are seasons in life. As I was saying previously, when you look at other people, you are often, or sometimes, some people, not everyone, if you know your potential, your full potential, your life purpose, you never compete. You know, you can never compete with anyone because you are unique, you're original, you're one of a kind. There's never been any you, and there will never exist any after you who is just like you. So there is really no room for competition. But for those who've not yet understood what is trapped within them, the greatness, their full potential, their purpose. Sometimes, unfortunately, they tend to compete or compare themselves with others. So they'll be looking at others who are thriving in this moment, at this time, and saying, how come I am not thriving? How come I'm not achieving? How can I not become like that person? Yet they fail to understand, because they don't know themselves anyway, that there are seasons. There is a season for sowing. Maybe the people you are looking at are at the season of harvest, when we're sowing and nurturing, and they were underneath the ground. They were doing the work behind the scene. In other words, you never saw them sprout. You never saw their fruits. So you're only seeing their fruits now and thinking it all happened overnight. There is no seed that is sown overnight and then it becomes fruits. You cannot be born today and fulfill your purpose today. Of course, maybe your purpose was to come, bring love to your parents. It's not a matter of how long you live. I also mentioned, in my last episode, it is how impactful your life is. And I talked about Jesus, who lived for such a short time, yet he's the most impactful human that have ever existed in our time, in our lifetime. And I don't think there will ever be another like him. So it's not how long we live. It's not the longevity of our life that matters or counts. It's the impact of our life, the value we bring to the world. And so when we are gone, we'll continue to live years and centuries after we have exited this planet physically. So once you understand this right now, you've known that, okay, there are seasons. But what I want you to understand this episode, I'll be looking more on understanding your potential, understanding the talents, understanding the gifts that are trapped in you, understanding the abilities, capabilities that are trapped within you and they are yet to be unlocked. Because if you don't know that you're having an orange seed and what is trapped in it is an orange, you will not know the seasons. You will not know how it has to be sown even, because various fruits or seeds, different seeds are sown differently, and there are different seasons for diverse seeds and fruits. So I want you to understand, to take this time and pause and reflect, which we said last time again. But now I'll be doing something, or I'll be taking you through a journey where I want you to envisage the end from the beginning. I want you to see your fruits right now, when you've not yet become that fruit. I want you to see your maximum potential. I want you to see all that which you've already accomplished, that you were sent and placed on this earth to accomplish. I want you to visualize that. I want you to imagine it. I want you to see yourself accomplishing that and feel, get the experience, what it feels like, what you feel within you, how fulfilled you are. If you have that deep inner sense of peace, rest, and satisfaction when you accomplish or become all that you were created to become. So, how do we see the end from the beginning? How do you see the fruits before the seed? By the fruits, they will be known. If you know where you're coming from, if you know your source, obviously you know what you are destined to become. You're not doubtful. You're absolutely confident, 100% confident that whatever happens, as long as you're sown and nurtured, when your due season comes, you will produce after your kind, after the fruits, after the source you were extracted from. And as humans, I've always said we are spiritual beings. I strongly believe, I know we are created by a magnificent God in his likeness, in his image, which is spirit love. It means we are also creators. And once you understand that, in that likeness, you want to become all the magnificent, great, powerful creator that you are, co-creating everything that was trapped within you, so that you could co-create while you're on this earth, or create while you're on this earth and leave it behind before you exit this planet. Talking about seeing the end from the beginning, your fruits at the very beginning, even before you become that fruit. So you may gain that unwavering confidence and know exactly what steps, what directions to take, what you need, the resources, the tools, the people around you, the type of soil, in other words, that you need to be in, the amount of time you need to become your full self, to unlock your full potential, the amount of time that you need to review your full potential, to achieve or accomplish your purpose, so that you are not stressed, you're not overwhelmed, you're not pressured, because you know that my time has not yet come. When that time comes, I will surely flourish in my full potential. My fruits will be harvested, and billions of people will benefit from this fruit. And I'll be truly worthy, fulfilled, as I have served my word. So, when you talk of seeing the end from the beginning, simply put, is vision. I know those of you who know me by now, I love talking about vision. I mean, vision is paramount. There are two key things that we know that without those things, people will perish. People will be derailed. People will act mediocre. People will be average. People will never fulfill their potential. People will always act below their true potential when they don't have knowledge of the truth of their identity, who they are. And secondly, without a vision, when they don't have a vision, a clear vision of who they are supposed to become, who they were man created, born, and placed on planet Earth to become, and what they were called and placed on this earth to do. When we have no knowledge of who we are, of course, we cannot have vision, we cannot have clarity, we cannot know what we are placed here to do because we don't know who we are. We cannot see our fruits from the very beginning. In other words, we don't even know our source. We don't know our destiny, which is our purpose. So I want you to pause and think about this word vision. It may seem big, but as I simply said, it's seeing the end from the beginning. It's an internalized mental image of your ideal life, your preferable life, your life purpose. Why would you prefer a life other than the life you are living now? Why would you prefer a different type of future, a better and ideal future than what you are living now? Your creator, God placed that image in your mind, in my mind, that picture, so we may see the end from the beginning and never settle for anything less than that image that's in our mind, which is an image of our fruits, of the destiny, of the final that we are destined to become. That image is a constant reminder of who you are, of who I am. That image grants us confidence. Vision gives you so much confidence, trust, because you know the end from the beginning. You know the final destination. You know where you are going to. It also enables you to be disciplined because when you know where you are going to, you're not going to walk any road. You're not going to go down every path. Not all the paths we walk by in life are bad, but not every path is the right path for us to go to our destination, to achieve our life purpose. So with that clarity in mind, with that vision in mind, with that endpoint in mind, you know the destination. You know when you are supposed to exit this planet and you're not going to exit anywhere else. It gives you the ability to be resilient, to endure. It builds tenacity, it bets tenacity because you know the end from the beginning, you keep going. You understand that every challenge along your way is a mere distraction. Every challenge along your way is simply an obstacle. You will keep your eyes focused on the end. You will set your sat nav, your GPS, God programs success or God programs happiness for you to fulfill your purpose. You will set it on. He's programming within me and you in that seed, in that stage of potential, in that image. So you see the end even before you begin that journey. So you can walk on the right path. And if you get lost, it's easier because you can ask along the way. But if you ask me without knowing where you are going to, I cannot help you. Even the best sat-navs in the world, when you don't know where you're going to, they cannot help you. It's because they are not, it's not because they are not great or functional. They need your input. God will order your steps. He will order my steps. He needs us to move in the direction. And once we are moving those steps, because he has programmed, God programmed sat nav, remember, he will reroute if you are taking the wrong path, but you need to move. You cannot move without a destination in mind. You could never leave your home without knowing where you're going to. If you do that, you'll just be wandering. You get tired, frustrated, no fulfillment. That's exactly how life is when we have no clarity, when we have no vision, when we don't know exactly where we are heading to, when we don't understand our potential, our fruits, the greatness that's stored and trapped within us. Once we've seen that greatness, before we even become that greatness, life is incredible. You walk on your lane, you have no pressure because you will not be held accountable for what you are not meant to become or who you are not meant to become. So your focus is on becoming all that you were created and are destined to become. Is to become that beautiful image that you have envisaged in your mind. Vision again is an internalized mental picture, like I said, of your greatest heart's desire, God's purpose for your life. Vision is seen beyond the physical barriers of the eyes. While your physical eyes may see your current situation, may see you now as that seed, still unfulfilled, still at the very early stages. Maybe you've not even been nurtured or sown yet. So people discredit you. People don't see your worth and value because they've not seen your fruit. Remember, it's a mental image. You see that image, that fruit from the beginning in your mind. So you don't have to bother about what people think. It's not in their mind. The image is placed in your mind, in my mind. The fruits are within you and within me and not in other people's minds. So what they think about your purpose, your destiny has no significance. So it gives you the ability to see beyond the physical barriers of the eyes. Like I said, without vision, we settle for mediocrity because our eyes can only see our now. Our eyes can only see our current physical reality. And some of us might just settle there thinking, oh, this is just who I am. This is what I was meant to become. I'm unlucky. No one in my family has ever become this, that, and that. No one in my family has ever achieved greatness. And my source is my family. No, you have a greater source. God, a spiritual, higher force and power. That's your source. And He's a great, magnificent creator and God. Everything greatness is done in His likeness and image. And you are destined for greatness and nothing less. So with that vision in mind, you cannot settle for less. You've got clarity. It disciplines you, like I said. You know what to do and what not to do. You know what exit to take on that highway and what exit not to take. You don't exit because everyone is exiting here. In other words, you don't quit because 50 million people have done it and failed. You are unique. You know, this is my journey. This is my destination. This is my purpose. You're gonna stay on track. It ignites a passion, a fire, a fear within you. So you may continue on that journey of becoming the image, the person you've seen in your mind without ever running out of fear, without becoming demotivated or depressed. Because passion is that fear. You're being refueled, you're being replenished. You are being re-energized. So you may stay on track. You may remain on that journey, faithful day after day, night after night, week after week, month after month, season after season, until the appointed season of harvest, when you get to your final destination. Now, I want you to pause. I want you to close your eyes as you listen to me. Maybe don't watch me. That's why it'll be good for you to use maybe the audio version of my podcast. Just listen to my voice. I want you to lie down, to close your eyes. If you were told, if you were told anything you choose to do, you must succeed. Not only succeed, you would excel. You will be outstanding at that thing. If you were told you had no challenges, every challenge you are facing right now in your life has been taken off your way. Every obstacle has been taken off your path. Be it a relationship that was actually troubling you, you are now thriving in the best relationships you could ever imagine or think of. If your health were a problem, you are now given the best health ever, the best health you could ever imagine or think of. You're flourishing and thriving in optimal health and well-being. You have the best relationships you could ever dream of. You are wealthy. You had no financial obstacles or barriers. In other words, what you want to do is not because of financial gains. You're not going to tell me that because you need to pay your mortgage, you need to pay your rent, you need to buy a car, you need to afford your bills. No, you don't lack anything. You flourish in abundance of everything you could ever humanly imagine or think of. If you were told this, you have no obstacles. You were so loved. Everyone wanted to be around you. You were a magnet. You magneted everyone. You just had that force in you. Everyone loved your presence because there was that aroma of bliss, of optimism that came out from you everywhere you were present. You're having the best time in your life, more than the best. You were flourishing. You had everything, I mean everything you could ever dream, imagine, think of. And you were asked, how would you spend the rest of your life? What would you spend the rest of your life doing? What type of job? What type of work? You're not working to be paid, remember. I don't think you just want to spend the rest of your life on this, on that, just sleeping or just enjoying, just shopping. There's something more to that. And I'm asking you, something that goes beyond yourself, because vision is not ambition. Ambition is the fulfillment of your personal heart's desires, professional career, and business goals. Vision goes beyond you. Vision goes beyond you, your family. It's for the greater benefit of your community, of your world. So if I were to ask you, not lacking anything, not needing anything, what one thing does your heart, do you imagine, do you envisage yourself doing? What one thing would you desire to do that when you do it, you are very, very sure? You are rest assured. You rest assured that it will bring you nothing but inner peace, content, bliss, a moment of deep inner peace and joy, unending joy. You will love it. You will enjoy it. You will sit back every night or lie in bed every night smiling when your day is played on screen, when your day is put on replay, looking at that day and enjoying every moment of that day because you did what you had yearned to do, and that impacted others. That goes beyond or went beyond just serving you. It goes beyond happiness. It goes beyond emotion. It's long lasting. Whether the people you serve say thank you or not, you feel really great and fulfilled. What do you see yourself doing? What do you see yourself becoming? What do you see yourself waking up every single morning, afternoon, evening, and doing, and smiling, and loving it, and enjoying it, and without any regrets? That when you go back to bed, when you retire to sleep at night, and you watch your life, you're happy. That if you are to write your own story and tell people about this life, you write it with deep joy, fulfillment. You will be so satisfied. You will be pleased, and you would know that your manufacturer, your creator in this case, because you are not a thing, you are a human being, you are a being, a spiritual being, having a natural experience. That you know your creator will be so fulfilled that my masterpiece, my creation, accomplished exactly what I equipped it and designed it to fulfill. My creation unlock all the powers, the strengths, the skills, the talents, the gifts I embedded within it to serve for the very purpose for which I created it to serve. What will be that thing? What will be those things? Who will be those who are around you when you are doing these things? What do you see around you? How are they impacted by your presence, by your work, by your service? Who are you talking to? Who are you speaking to? What are you saying to them? How are you dressed? How are you speaking? What are you speaking about? Just relax, relax, envisage yourself See your end from the beginning. See your true purpose, calling, your full potential. Because our full potential is not about how we feel, how we think. It's about how our Creator, God, is about His mind, what He had in His mind before creating you and me. The purpose He had in mind for you and me before bringing us out. The end that He saw, the same image that He saw at the end, and tested you, and you fulfilled that, and you wear that fruit before going to work to create you. Because you know what? If we look at the manufacturing of things, inventions, before any inventor, any manufacturer manufactures any product, any invention, they see the end from the beginning. They envisage it before they go to work. They must see the end. They must see the product. They must see the purpose for which the product is going to be designed to fulfill. And they know that for it to fulfill this purpose, it needs this, that, and that. For example, if it were an eye that your creator was creating for this body, my creator, he envisaged the end from the beginning. He saw the eye seeing very well and bringing light to this body. So my body doesn't stumble and fall when I walk because my eyes can see. And then he now goes to work. What does an eye need to see effectively? He now equips my eyes with everything it needs, all they need to fulfill the purpose of bringing sight and light to this body. With the optical lenses, nerves, everything, pupils they need so they may fulfill their purpose. In other words, it was already finished in his mind before he ever went to work. The finished product determined the strengths, the materials, the substance that he equipped his invention or product with. It's exactly the same for you and me. God said, before I even formed you in your mother's womb, before you were even conceived, I knew you. He had already seen who you will become, who I will become, what I will become. Because he had seen the end from the beginning and went to work in enabling that we are conceived within our mother's wombs so we can be born to become all that we were created to become. Because he's already empowered us with those potentials, with those untapped abilities, talents, gifts, characteristics, qualities to become that final product that he destined us to become. What do you see? What do you see if you have no limitations? Because too often our own limiting beliefs, our own physical limitations or limiting mindset, beliefs that we've picked on from those who came before us, maybe because they couldn't achieve greatness, they failed in one area or the other. They now tell you and me, we too cannot succeed. No, they aren't your creator. They aren't my creator. They have no clue of who you were created to become, who I was created to become, and what you were created to do, and what I was created to do. So they can never predict your destiny. Don't allow them, not even you. You don't even understand yourself, the complexity of your mind, of your being. How can you ever understand all that you were ever created to become? You're so limited in your thinking. And that's why he says, God will do abundantly exceedingly above all we could ever ask or think of. Because you and I would think based on our own physical human limitations, what we call or we think is greatness. But he says, no, no, no. You are limited because the creation did not see the work that was being done before it was created. It came at a later stage after everything has already been predestined for it to become all that it was created to become. So you have no clue. That's why I place the image, your vision in your mind to give you that constant picture so you don't have rest. until you become that image you see in your mind. He says, don't change the narrative. I didn't send you to change the narrative about who you are, about your potential. I didn't send you on this earth to play small, to limit your potential based on your feelings, based on your background, based on your thoughts, based on your financial status. No, that's not your purpose. That's not your job. You have no clue of what I created you to become. You're not to change the narrative because you feel low, you feel depressed, you feel hurt, you feel unloved. Who you are is who you are. It's who I've destined you to become. I want you to focus on that mental image because I'm a God of order, you know. I'm a creator of order, like every manufacturer. The one who created this phone did it in such a way that there is order. Once you put on, you'll be able to see the various functions. It's In other words, it's a manual. It's also available. Or you go to settings, how you can use the phone, instructions, because they don't want chaos. You have no clue how I created this phone to function. The manufacturer, Samsung, Apple, I saw in my mind the end from the beginning. Hence, I went to work and put all the structures, the potentials, everything in the phone that's needed to fulfill its purpose. So today, Sylvia, today, beloved viewers, listeners, whether you feel down or low, you don't feel like this is a fun, you don't have to change the narrative. You have no clue of my creation. It's not your duty, your responsibility. You're not even worthy. You do not qualify to change the narrative of this phone. You only qualify if you are the creator, because you will create from your own vision what you've envisaged, the end you've seen at the very beginning. You go to work. So you didn't create yourself, Sylvia. You didn't create yourself, my incredible viewer or listener. How dare you label or identify yourself as someone less than I have designed you to become, or what I have designed you to fulfill. Hey, come on. It's not your duty. It's not your responsibility. Your duty and responsibility is to get knowledge of the truth. But guess what? I did not hide this knowledge from you. I did not. That's why in you, I equip the gifts and talents, strengths, so you may bespokely understand your natural gifts, talents, strengths, and what you are called to be. If I were to put every part of my body to function, so opening my eyes, my ears wide open and everything, my ears would never be able to see. It's not because I'm working hard. No, they've already been equipped with the potential to hear. My eyes will only be able to see and never be able to hear. I'm not doing anything in particular to make them see. Of course, if they are not in their original state, functioning in their original state of creation, what they were destined to do or to fulfill, which is purpose, then something might have gone wrong. Then there is a problem, but we can go back to restore it to its original state of creation. Fulfilling your potential, you must know what potential is trapped within you. If you base it on your own physical limitations, beliefs, strengths, accolades, financial ability or status, educational ability or status, then you'll be far more limited. I inform you, I call on you as you listen to me to envisage the end from the beginning, to see yourself becoming that image that I asked you to see in your mind. If you had no limitations, if you had everything, and you were guaranteed success was the only thing that was possible. In other words, if you step forth and do this, there is no failure. There is only one option, that you succeed, because the manufacturer had already finished creating you and tested you. You know, before we put the brand or the logo, the image on a car or any product, it is done and tested. It goes through quality testing. Analyze, can it actually stay for 10 hours Before the battery runs out, the battery must have been tested by the manufacturer to guarantee you that when you put on this phone and it's on full function after 10 hours, that's when the battery will run down and then you need to recharge. But don't worry, because I thought about everything when I was creating. I've given you the current, the source to energy to replenish. It's the same thing. God has given us that spirit to be able to be connected to Him, to be in harmony. That is our source where we can be replenished and empowered when our battery runs down, when we have worked so hard and we are all, was it discharged? You feel like you're overwhelmed, you're tired, relax. And that's why we also have to rest. Even the Almighty Creator rested on the seventh day after creation. He could have just gone on without resting, because after all, He's almighty, omnipotent, all powerful. But He wanted to model to us how we need to function. You don't work, and work without resting. Rest when you're tired. Just connect back to the source. You're not doing any work. You turn this phone off, you switch it off. It's resting, connected to the source, and it's being recharged. It's being recharged while it's resting. And in the morning, you take the phone and put it on, it's full again. It's recharged, revived, refueled, re-energized, ready to accomplish its purpose for the next day until its full purpose is accomplished. And it's no longer valuable to be on this earth to serve. So understand that you will really never burn out. Like I've always said, when you understand your true calling, your purpose, your full potential, you work in alignment with principles and laws of creation, of your creation. There are laws that govern the actual fulfillment or the potential of this phone fulfilling its full potential. There are laws not set by you and me, but by the manufacturer. For example, for this phone to fulfill its potential and work according to the way I, the manufacturer, said it's going to work, do not put it in water. Do not immerse it in water. Some of them is just, I've not given you a spirit of fear by your creator. Like I said, we have His image, which is that spirit in us, and that's where we are replenished. It's our power, that spiritual power. I've given you a spirit of love. God is love. He's created you and I in His image, His brand, His logo of love. He is love. He says, I've given you a spirit of love, of power. I am omnipotent. You are created after me, after my kind. By your fruits, you will be known. You have been taken off me. So you will be like me. You will function like me. Your potential is as bountiful as mine, as endless as mine, as mine. So I've given you a spirit of love, of power, and sound, sound. Mind, chill and relax. You're never going to be depressed when you see an end. Your final image, know who you are. Because you know it's not your narrative. You know that you are a spiritual being. No physical challenge on this earth can hit the spiritual realm. Spirit and physical do not really coexist. We are in harmony. We allow the spiritual to transform our mind. A mind that is governed by the spirit brings life to this body. We are one. This phone is actually linked. When it has to be charged, even though you don't often see the charger, the source that gives life to this phone, yet it is very, very important, crucial, vital, indispensable for this phone to fulfill its purpose. We traveled for holidays. We're out in Wales with the family, and my battery for my phone, it wasn't charging anymore. My charger, not my battery, wasn't working. So remember, I'm talking about the source where you reconnect. My phone died. I couldn't charge it. I couldn't use it. It was useless. Though it's still brand new, no breaks, no crashes, physically optimal, but I lacked the connection to the source. There was no charger to replenish it with fuel and energy, and it was of no use. What am I saying? The true life, a source of life, of energy, of our potential is the spirit being in us. You need to be connected. You need to be in harmony, body, soul, and spirit. Your soul is your mind, emotions, and willpower to do that which is in alignment with your spirit and the spirit of God, because that's where He reveals to you and me our purpose and give us now because it transforms our mind. Remember, a mind governed by the spirit brings life to the body. It transforms our mind. It puts that image, that vision, that eternal picture that can never be tempered by any physical tool or manifestation or being in your mind. So you may allow it to govern your physical body and be made manifest in the physical realm by you fulfilling your purpose of living in your daily life. As you wake up every single morning, seeing that image that brings you fulfillment, deep inner peace and joy because you're in one accord with God, your creator, with the power in you, with the full potential in you, the power that's yet to be tapped, your untapped power, your untapped skills, your untapped strengths. Like the phone has the power to make calls, to send text messages, to do videos. But if I'm not charging it, if it's dead, not connected, I cannot use it. I want you to pause. I want you to envisage that image. Who are you? Who do you see yourself becoming? What do you see yourself doing that brings you the greatest harmony, peace? No yearning, no seeking for approval, no seeking for acknowledgement, no seeking to belong, because you are impacting. You are part of the world, and you understand you're here for a purpose, and you've been equipped with every potential, every ability, every capability that you need to fulfill that purpose and potential. You know, keep that image alive. Draw it if you may need to. Put it down, paint it, have a vision board. Let nothing distract you from that image. That image is a representation of your full potential, of your full being, of your greatness, of your magnificence, of your splendor, of your beauty. So the world may experience your fruits, fruits that's never experienced before and will never in its lifetime experience, because only you were endowed with the potential to become those fruits. Go now, be awakened, be empowered, step up, stay in harmony, stay connected with your source, stay re-energized by your source, the powerhouse, God in you and me, and see yourself working effortlessly, because everything you and I need to fulfill that greatness and potential has already been given to us. Like I said, there are no two options. It's not this or that. It's only one way. Success is guaranteed. You and I have already been tested. We've passed the test of time. You see the challenges that we'll go through before becoming all that we've become, we're destined to become. God has already tested us through those rocks. He's already gone on a race on that rocky mountain 50 times and saw that you and I are capable of enduring. And He knows that when the time comes, when we go through the mountains, the valleys, the storms, the rocks, you name it, we have what it takes to overcome it. Be you then cheerful. You've already overcome those obstacles. You're just experiencing them now in the physical realm, because we're having, after all, a natural experience. We are not spirits, spiritual beings in natural physical bodies that ought to feel the natural pain. the natural life. I wish you all the best. I pray that you find that food, you find your purpose. Look at those strengths that you have naturally. Look at those passions that you have. Look at the things that you enjoy doing that bring you a deep sense of fulfillment and joy. Some of those things that you would love to do, even if you are not paid for. You love to volunteer because maybe your job now, you're doing something else to bring financial gains, not really because you want to do the things you love to do. So look at those things while you're working on your vocation or your career. Sit back and look at what you would love to do. Maybe after you've gained enough money, or if money, like I said, ideally you have so much money, you're a multi-billionaire. What's that thing? What's that passion? What motivates you? What kicks you? What drives you? What wakes you off that bed? If you had only one reason to wake up today, what would that be for? Remember, vision goes beyond the individual. It goes beyond you. That's ambition. When you talk only about yourself, we are called to be part of a greater community, the human race, the world. So we edify our world like the parts of the body, all for harmony. Excuse me, an edification of our being, of our body, the body of Christ in this sense, the God's kingdom. You've been listening to the wonderful, inspirational Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi, founder and CEO of Voice of Nations, the host of the Transformation Podcast, designed to bring you empowering, inspirational, and transformational contents on personal development, leadership, health and well-being, relationships, and business, so that you may live your full potential and thrive, excel in life, living a fulfilling, purposeful, and successful life. Thank you. After listening to this episode, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can watch the audio, you can watch the video, you can listen on my um, Spotify and other platforms. God bless you. And that's it for today. Go on, pursue that vision like never before. Don't take your eyes off that vision. God bless you and lots of love. Until next time, bye now.